Zero magazine recently stated, if she doesn't initially win you over with her looks, you'll definitely fall victim to Tara Tinsley's infectious voice and sound. We certainly found that out when the self-confessed tomboy dropped into our Nashville studios to share her thoughts on her recent move to Nashville and all that lies ahead for the Michigan native. I'm Kane Harrison, and this is Emerging Artists.
Bandwidth for today's show is brought to you by softlayer.com. We love Softlayer here at Talkapolis. They are the greatest hosting company ever. They make everything easy. Check out their website at softlayer.com. Thanks again for sponsoring the show.
Talkapolis, the social media TV network for your city.
We touched briefly before on your songwriting. Let's go a bit more into that. You've released 3 albums so far, and I mean, listening to those albums, as I said, it must be a massive journey to get all the way around to Nashville, having toured in Japan and toured extensively in the US. So I guess now you're in this town that's full of songwriters. Tell me about your songwriting process now, collaborations, and how you feel about it.
Well, I love that when I'm in Nashville, I have more opportunity to co-write with people and expand my mind in that way, because every single person has their own personality and their own way of writing. So you get to write songs and approach the songwriting process differently than you ever have. And it really helps the way I write. And I really am trying to focus more on the country music style, because my goal now is just to focus on songwriting as a career. So being able to be around people that are doing the same thing is just amazing.
Yeah, it is incredible. And it's interesting that you say that obviously somewhere along the lines you've sort of changed from deciding to be an artist to becoming a songwriter. And that happens often when people come to Nashville. I think they fall in love with the town, they fall in love with the craft of songwriting. I know myself, when, you know, being from Australia and traveling extensively as well, especially living in LA, for me, that was a major difference coming here, is just that craft of songwriting. How much have you learnt from being around those Nashville people?
Oh my gosh, I've learned a wealth of knowledge I couldn't have learned in school or books. And I mean, I feel like I'm gaining wisdom with every person I meet, even if they're younger than me or more inexperienced, because they have something to tell you and they have something to show you, that, and a different perspective to show you that you might not have seen before.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So moving forward from here, focus is on songwriting. Let's say 2 years from now, where do we see you sitting?
Oh, well, hopefully going down the red carpet. I mean, I would love to win an award for a song I wrote, whether I'm singing it or an artist that's up there in country singing it. Being able to, maybe eventually, not in 2 years, I'm giving myself more time, but in I don't know how many years, being like the songwriter of the year, or you know, something big like that. Because before I wasn't so focused on like awards and being like good in that aspect of it. I just did whatever I wanted, and whatever came out came out. But now I'm like, I have this set goal, and I feel more like a scientist or a mathematician when it comes to songs. And I want to perfect my craft so that I can be successful, and I don't know, just make my parents proud, because they've always supported me. They're always there for me, and it's rare, I see in my friends, that you find parents that are just have your back, and especially when you don't go to college and you pursue music, you know? So I think I'm doing okay so far.
Well, I think that you're doing awesome, and I'm sure that your parents are extremely proud, and we're so thankful for you dropping by, and look forward to seeing what happens in the next 2 years.
Yeah, thank you.
How sturdy is this chair? How heavy is my hair? And how many times do I drift off to think about you when I know we are through? How soft is this dress? How my heart beats on my chest? And how I could use this drink to forget about you. How I wish that were true. All the things you notice when your heart is broken, that you wouldn't notice any other time. The things you want to forget, the things you regret, the lack of your lips against mine, the things I wouldn't notice any other time. how fast I tend to drive, 'cause it makes me feel alive. And how bright this light is coming through my window pane, and it's keeping me awake. All the things you notice when your heart is broken that you wouldn't notice any other time. The things you want to forget, the things you regret, the lack of your lips against mine. The things I wouldn't notice any other time. How much my feet's so wet, and how hard I get when you walk into the room, and how I know there's nothing more that I could say to you. All the things you notice when your heart is broken that you wouldn't notice any other time. The things you want to forget, the things you regret, the lack of your lips against mine. These things I wouldn't notice any other. These things I wouldn't notice any other time. Any other time. Any other time. Any other time.